In this section, we're going to start the difference between volume and surface area of prisms. And you guys know that we like to separate bases that are circular versus any other shape. Okay, so we're going to do that same thing here. So a prism, in my mind, my definition for a prism is, think of this as a hunk of cheese. Can you turn it in a certain way so that you could slice through this and make like 80 slices of cheese? It is a prism if every single slice of cheese has the same shape and the same size. So you should be able to think of this one as being turned on its side, and every single slice would be a triangle. They would all be the same size and shape. That is called a prism. And then this other one, if you turned it on its side and made 80 slices, they would all be circular and of the same size. That's just a special prism, but it is called a cylinder. All right, so both of them have, in my mind, the same equation. It's just we change what we know about circles in the equation. Okay, so volume, first of all. Volume is like how much lemonade we could fit into both of these coolers, if you will. Versus surface area is me sending you out to the store to buy the materials, to buy the surface material to build the cooler. Like for instance, here you would be building 3 rectangles, if you can envision them, and the top and the bottom triangles. Those would be the surface areas. All right, so let's start. For a prism, our general equation, and here's where you're going to start seeing the difference between capital and lowercase letters. Capital V volume is capital B times H. Capital B now stands for the base, the area of the base. So in this one, I'm highlighting in pink here. This would be our base, but capital B is going to stand for the area of the base. B equals area of base. Okay, and then this would be our height of the prism. All right, same thing over here with a cylinder. Let's talk about them at the same time. Here's the circular base. This is still capital B. Capital B still stands for the area of the base, right? The area of a circle is pi r squared. So you'll see us make those substitutions. All right, so for a cylinder then, the volume equals the area of the base, the same as this one, but for a circle, it's going to be pi r squared times that height, h. Since it's volume, 3 dimensions, the units are cubed. Okay, so I'll just write it in between here. Units are cubed for volume. All right, surface area then. Surface area for a general prism is 2 times the area of the base, so 2 capital B, plus capital P times H. Okay, well there's a new one. Capital P is now, just like in the other chapters, lowercase p was perimeter, uppercase P is perimeter of the prism. So it's of a 3-dimensional shape. So we're going to say it's the perimeter of the base. Okay. Make the substitutions for the cylinder then. Surface area is going to be, well, 2 times the area of the base. And since it's a circle, it's pi r squared plus The perimeter of the base, well, the perimeter around a circle is called circumference. We all know that's 2 pi r times this h. So 2 pi r h. All right, and since it's area, it should make sense that the units are squared for both of those. And again, I'll just put that in between. And finishing up this picture, again, this would be the height of our cylinder. And of course, the dot meaning the center, and that would be your radius. So all the things you already know. All right, again, we just want to know if you knew the equations, could you just plug these in? Okay, and utilize them. So here we go. First thing you need to be able to do is identify what this is a picture of. So hopefully you're going to tell me it is a prism, right? Because I could turn this in any direction and have all the slices of cheese be the same size and the same shape. Probably rectangular depending on the dimensions I give you. So I'm going to say for this one that this is 5 inches. This is 4 inches. And this is 6 inches. Okay, so we'll highlight our base. And based on the dimensions of this base, the way I'm drawing it being 4 by 6, that would be a rectangle. Okay, so if you can fill in the original equation, volume being capital B times H. All right, capital B standing for the area of the base. This is a 4 by 6. It's the same as this top base. So it would be 4 times 6 times the height of the prism, which is 5. Okay, make sure you're practicing these along with the units yourself, not just writing it down from what I'm doing. This would be 120 inches cubed. The surface area, how much material to build this, would be 2 times the base plus capital P times the height. So 2 times the area of the base is again a rectangle. So base times height, 4 times 6, plus the perimeter of the base. 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus 6 would be 20 times the height of 5 to give us 48 plus 100. 148 inches squared, since it is an area. Okay, as you start catching on, again, turn this video off, try it yourself, and then come back and make sure that we agree with the work that's being done here. All right, so again, you should be able to name it first. This last one, we should have said prism. This one, I'm hoping you're saying cylinder. So for this picture, let's give you the dot with 8 meters, and this is 10 meters. Okay, so the dot still means the center of the circle. The 8 meters then is the radius, the 10 is the height, and this, if we're highlighting it again, would be a cylinder with a base being a circle. Okay, and the heights come straight down from the middle to the middle here, but that height is right here drawn on the outside. Okay, so I think we have everything that we need. Volume being pi r squared h. Please give me answers in terms of pi and decimal. We need to practice both. So turn off the video and try that for yourself if you would like. So this would be pi. I'm plugging in 8 for the radius, squaring it, times the height of 10. So this would be 8 squared 64 times 10 is 640 pi meters cubed, since it's a volume. Keep 640 on your calculator, multiply by the pi key, and round once and once only, you'll get 2010.62 meters cubed. Surface area, 2 pi r squared. So again, if you took that off of your paper, could you apply it to this? 2 pi rh. So our surface area would be 2 pi, the radius is 8 that we need to square, plus 2 pi times the radius of 8 times the height of 10. Okay, this would be 64 times 2, so 128 pi, plus 80 times 2 is 160, so 160 pi. Those are like terms, right? Treat those like x's. So they're both pi's. They would go together to be 288 pi meters squared. Since it's an area, that's your answer in terms of pi. As a decimal, 904.78 meters squared. All right, the next one, what is the shape? So hopefully you're going to say that this is a prism. Specifically, if I asked you which way I would be cutting it to make 80 slices of cheese all the same shape and all the same size, hopefully you're going to cut through it going this way, and they would all be right triangle slices. Okay, so it's a triangular prism. All right, the information we're giving you this time, let's put 9 feet here, 16 feet here, and 20 feet here. All right, so here are the things to notice. If I'm going to do volume equals capital B times H, I've got to be able to find the area of that base. The base being this triangle. And more specifically, if they're all the same size and all the same shape, hopefully you notice this right angle here, which would make this also a right angle down here. So I'm looking at this as in 2 dimensions. I need the area of this triangle, right? Base and height by definition meet at right angles. So this missing side is what I need to work on. Okay, back to old stuff. I've got 2 out of 3 sides of a triangle. I'm back to reducing triples Pythagorean theorem. So if I reduce this by 4, this would become 4. This side would become 5. We have a 3, 4, 5 triple as long as 5 is the hypotenuse, and it is. So this side would be 3 times the 4 you reduced by would give us a length of 12 feet. I'm going to circle those bigger numbers just so that I remember to actually use the bigger numbers like I have to. And I think I'm now ready to plug and chug. So the volume is, all right, capital B. Remember, that's this guy. The area of that base. Well, the area of a triangle is 1/2 lowercase b times h. So here's the 1/2. Base and height of this triangle are the 12 and the 16. Times the height of the prism is 9 feet. That would give us 864 feet cubed. Surface area, 2b plus capital P times h. So 2 times the area of the base, once again, is going to be 1/2 the base times the height, the 12 and the 16 for the triangle, plus the perimeter of the base. 16 plus 20 plus 12 is 48 times the height of the prism, which is 9. Okay, 2 times 1/2, that cancels. 12 times 16 is 192. 48 times 9, don't take my word for it, guys. Make sure you're practicing it, please. So 432, when you add them together, 624 feet squared. All right, and that is everything you need to know for volume and surface area of prisms and cylinders.